Femininity in the media. Today we will start by looking at the 2001 film Legally Blonde, starring Reese Witherspoon. The film follows Elle Woods, a former sorority queen, on her quest to win back her college sweetheart, Warner Huntington III. While Elle believes Warner will ask for her hand in marriage, Warner actually tells Elle he is breaking up with her to pursue a degree at Harvard Law School. After a brief moping period, Elle applies to Harvard to win Warner back. Legally Blonde was published as a novel in 2001 by American writer Amanda Brown, but was quickly adapted by screenwriter Karen McCullough. Both Karen and Amanda are understood to be heterosexual females. Karen's success with Legally Blonde allowed her to proceed to become the screenwriter for other films with strong female leads. Karen went on to write for The Ugly Truth, starring Katherine Heigl, Ella Enchanted, starring Anne Hathaway, She's the Man, starring Amanda Bynes, and The House Bunny, starring Anna Faris. Karen's films are done as chick flicks, or as Dictionary.com defines it, a movie that appeals especially to women, usually having a romantic or sentimental theme and a female leading character. As it turns out, Karen McCullough was actually in a sorority herself. She was an Alpha Gamma Omega at James Madison University. This seemed to have a strong influence on her style as a screenwriter. The main characters of the film exhibit heteronormativity. We see this through Elle and Warner's relationship progressions. Elle, a straight female, and Warner, a straight male, start off dating. Then Warner breaks up with Elle and gets engaged to Vivian, who is also a straight female. Elle gets over Warner when she starts dating Emmett, another straight male. Legally Blonde does not totally disregard homosexuality. However, it mostly is satirized through supporting characters. We see this first with Enid Wexler, a student at Harvard who graduated from Berkeley with a master's in women's studies and also single-handedly organized the March for Lesbians against drunk driving. Enid is also petitioning to have the next term referred to as winter ovester instead of semester. We then see this at the end of the film during a court case over the murder of a wealthy man. Elle finds a hard piece of evidence when she realizes one of the suspects is gay. Elle is waiting in line for water when she sees Enrique Salvatore. Enrique turns around and says, "Don't stomp your little last season Prada shoes at me, honey," confirming to her that Salvatore is gay. Although homosexuality is embellished and satirized in this movie, so is heterosexuality. Once Elle leaves her sorority bubble in Southern California and moves to New England, she is portrayed as an out-of-place Barbie. Elle finds that tanning on the quad and carrying Bruiser around is not so normal at Harvard. Elle is made to feel ill-prepared and foolish because of her hyper-feminine ways. Her professors and peers alienate Elle, making her feel that she does not belong at such a prestigious university. However, Elle defies the dumb blonde stereotype that is placed upon her by not only keeping up with Harvard's curriculum, but also receiving a highly sought-after internship at Harvard professor's law firm. The target audience of Legally Blonde can be finely represented by Elle Woods herself, young women who are in their teenage and or college days. Not only is the film relevant to that group because of the content and humor, but also because Elle is a positive role model for young women. However, the audience is mostly geared towards straight, upper to upper middle class women, which does narrow the audience a bit. The movie is about as old as the MacBook Elle is carrying in this scene. This is roughly 15 years behind us. Although the movie generally promotes a positive feminine view, I believe that a movie about a young female following her boyfriend to law school after he breaks up with her would not be as positively accepted among the general public in 2015. I believe Legally Blonde would receive a lot more scrutiny from feminist groups as well as gay rights groups. Now we will be looking into the 2012 HBO series Girls, written by and starring Lena Dunham. Lena Dunham is a heterosexual female She is currently dating Jack Antonoff of the band Fun. However, both Lena and Jack advocate for LGBT rights. While Lena incorporates a fair amount of sexual liberation into the show, she also shows heteronormativity in girls. The show is a balance between provocative topics and mundane issues for people in their early 20s. The four main characters embody this scale. Jessa is the free-spirited friend. Jessa would mostly identify as a straight female, but has been known to experiment. Hannah, who is played by Lena Dunham, identifies as a straight female, but stretches the normative sexual boundaries when she becomes romantically involved with a nymphomaniac. Marnie is the put-together friend who does not stray from the heterosexual monogamy. She spends most of the first season of the show in and out of a relationship with her longtime boyfriend, Charlie. Marnie experiments with her sexuality later in the show, but feels regret each time. Shoshana is still a student. She does not lose her virginity until the end of the first season. Shoshana expresses interest in heterosexual males and lives in an extremely femininely decorated apartment. Girls lacks the traditional hegemonic male character seen in most television shows or movies. It seems Lena Dunham writes the male characters in to be perceived as less manly in order to bolster the femininity and the power of the girls. After Charlie reads Hannah's diary entries about Marnie dating a man with a vagina, Charlie becomes insecure and breaks up with Marnie. Marnie begs for him back and the two have sex, only for Marnie to realize then that she actually does want to break up with Charlie after all. Although Hannah has her quirks too, it is clear that she is better off than Adam. Adam has no job, not many friends, and is a sex addict / sociopath. Generally, Adam has little to no control of his urges and will never say no to Hannah no matter how hard he tries to resist. In the 5th episode of the first season, Jess's old fling comes to visit her in New York from San Francisco. He insists he wants nothing to do with Jessa and that he is moving in with his new girlfriend, Gillian. Jessa seduces him anyways. After the two have sex, he tries to kiss Jessa. Jessa turns away and goes, "What about Gillian?" Very pleased with herself, Jessa explains later to Shoshana, "That was me showing him I cannot be smoted. I am unsmotable." Unlike her three friends, Shoshana does not use sex to assert her femininity. In fact, Shoshana maintains her femininity by keeping her virginity through her early 20s. While it is common to portray subordination in the media, Girls challenges this. The women of Girls are not reliant on men. If anything, Lena Dunham writes the show to make men appear more reliant on women, or, at the most, to make men and women appear equally reliant on each other. Girls is geared toward a specific audience, Generation Y, or the Millennials. The show exhibits Generation Y progressive thinking on sex and gender, as well as millennial understanding of the struggle to get a well-paying job right out of college. However, the show predominantly displays white females, which could potentially limit the audience.